It's Wednesday, the 24th day of June 2026. You're welcome to another edition of GH Today. I am Lily Mohammed. It's a beautiful Wednesday. It's wet for some parts of Accra, so you want to take precautionary measures as you step out to earn your keep. Please, if you're driving, please be careful. If you're walking, please be careful. If you're also commuting to your various workplaces or wherever you earn your keep, please take extra caution as you go out. We want you hale, hearty, and alive. Let's head to the courts. Okay, Captain has joined me this morning. Captain, good morning.
Good morning, Lily.
How are you?
I'm good. I can see the script on your face.
I know, right?
Yeah. The senior national team of Ghana.
Everything we do, we win. Everywhere we go. Yesterday
Lily,
we
what time did you sleep?
It was a win for us.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know Ghanaian love football like that.
Yes.
So we are pretenders. We pretend we don't like the Black Stars, but
we do. Not that we don't like them, we do. Just that, they've broken our hearts
for a very long time. I see a certain love in the air, and that love is how Ghanaians. That's the typical Ghanaian for you.
Yeah.
We'll start from the scratch, and that's what we have done. Everybody is in love with the coach. Yeah. Everybody is in love with this.
Let him mess up once.
Absolutely. And that day will come. And when that day comes,
that day reckoning.
Then you
take us to court.
You know the typical Ghanaian fan. But I think that the team, the spirit of the team
is good.
Yes, everybody. They are now getting the whole nation behind them, and then we are moving in the right direction. 4 points out of 6. Yeah. Especially when you played your colonial masters, and then you show them how to play football.
Bold to defend forever.
Yesterday they were lucky because if the referee had been very proactive,
that referee
and VAR was not asleep, I think that we could have had a penalty. But I've also been. One thing that we should also know is that every tournament has its own rules. And then there's a certain caveat to the VAR this year. It's not like the normal VAR. So that is why you could see, but there was a clear foul, and it should have been a penalty for Ghana. But hats off for the Black Stars. I think that, Charlie, they are getting us moving. Exciting time to be a Ghanaian, right?
I know. Anyway, but it's not exciting for some families.
Yes. The Kantanka family. So beginning this week, it wasn't too good a news that we heard from Christo Asafo, the church, where, in fact, siblings are at each other's truth. So we have seen videos of pictures of Sarah Adjo Asafo, the former member of parliament for Dom Kwamenya. We have also that's your constituency. Okay, so you must be really, really concerned about
I'm interested.
what is happening. Yes. So the scenes that you see on your screen. So people allegedly commit an offense, you pick them out, and they are covering their faces. Meanwhile, at the time that the alleged incident were happening, full chest. So that's how it is. So the accused persons, 9 of them, yesterday were put or they were arraigned. The circuit court at Adenta. So they are the one moving. Some of them have covered their faces, and that's the man on your screen with the cap there. And then CID officers also marshalling the into the precinct or the courtroom and all of that. Some trying to cover their faces and all of that. So, and interestingly, those people who are even doing that, some of them even love the cameras more than we do. Now, when they get to certain moments, so that was the scene at the Adenta Circuit Court yesterday when the 9 accused persons were put before the court. But who are the accused persons? Who are them? People want to know who they are. I want to take you through their names, who these 9 persons were. So you realize that when the incident happened, the police initially arrested 6. Then later on, 3 of them also were arrested. So the accused persons, as per the charge sheet that was put before the court, Nana Kojo Safo Akofena, He is the first accused person, and he is the mastermind of this whole act. He was the first accused person. Tamakro Safo Jehoshaphat, also in the second accused. Third accused person, Kwabna Safo. The fourth accused person, Benjamin Amwakwa Sam. The fifth accused person is Badu Enoch. The sixth accused person is Richard Aiti. Gideon Safo is the seventh accused person. And the eighth accused person is Nana Kweku Efriye. He is a farmer. Okay. And now one Kojo Safo Kumsin. So these are the accused persons who were put before the court. And out of the 9, 7 of them are security guards.
Okay.
And they are led to exchanging fire and all of the firearms yesterday. Among the charges, offensive weapon, possession of offensive weapon, unlawful damage, and all of that. So they pleaded not guilty to the charges. Yesterday, they were one of the charges that the lawyers had issued was being members of a vigilante group. They discharged that, look, they are not vigilante group. So that's one they accused the defense put up a challenge in the court as to the potency or the rightfulness of that charge. So that was the problem. A moment after the case was over, bloggers and then journalists tried to get some bite from the lawyer and say, look, we will not give you anything to go and feed on. We won't give you anything to go and then misinterpret. What you should know is that the next time we come to court, this is a family matter. We'll try and then settle that and all of that. By the end, once they pleaded not guilty, the court admitted them to bail in the sum of 500,000 Ghana cedis each.
Okay.
So each of the 9, 500,000 Ghana cedis with 2 sureties to be justified. So if you put them together,
that's
500, that's 4.5.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they are going to pay that money. The sureties will have to demonstrate by way of them, each of them 2 sureties. So the 2 sureties, the court is saying that both of them should be able to cover that particular sum of money, although they should have properties worth that sum of money. So when the accused persons are nowhere to be found, then the court can take that monies from there. So on the 30th of June, these accused persons will be back in court. And when they are back in court, the court will give further direction as to what will happen. So this is how the Adenta Circuit Court was looking like, or was like yesterday, when this case came up. And of course, Kwabena, Safo, Akofena, and
Kojo Safo.
Kojo Safo, yes. And then the remaining 8 others appear. So 30th of June, they'll be back. So that's what happened at the Adenta Circuit Court yesterday, lady.
Okay. Okay. What else are we looking at? NSS ghost names?
Yes, gives you a worry. Yes, the trial is progressing between yesterday and then today. Between yesterday, today is Wednesday.
Yes.
So between Monday and yesterday, 2 witnesses have come up. So already we know that the one officer from the ADB has come, cross-examined, testified, cross-examined, has been discharged. On Monday, somebody who said that he is the Uber driver for Gifty Owari's mother, also came in, testified, cross-examined, and discharged. Yesterday, the director of finance at the NSA, now a former director, also mounted a witness box to testify in relation to this particular matter. Yesterday, being led by the director of public prosecution, Mrs. Yvonne Atakra Obobisa, gave evidence in chief, tendered in the exhibits some documentation, evidential materials, and all of that. And at the end, lawyer for the accused person, Gary Nimakumaf, as you can see on your screen there, yesterday began the cross-examination of the third prosecution witness. And that case yesterday, he didn't conclude. So that matter has been adjourned for further continuation. So yesterday, that is the update it gives you a Owari's case. The third prosecution witness is testifying. Between Monday and today, 2 witnesses have already mount the witness box and all of that.
OSP Charles Bisu?
Yes, so the OSP, you know that there's a controversy about the OSP's mandate to prosecute his charge, Charles Bisu and 2 others. The trial is ongoing, and then we did have the issue about the High Court declaring that the OSP doesn't have the prosecutorial powers, and so the cases should be taken over by the Attorney General. We know that there's a pending case at the Supreme Court, one of which the judgment will be on July 29. That has to do with the Noah Adamte one about the constitutionality of that particular act. And of course, the OSP, even following the High Court order, is also challenging that order, that ruling of the High Court. So the OSP went to the High Court essentially saying that because the matters, we do not know what is happening right now, we want the Supreme Court to put finality on that, put the trial of Charles BC on hold for us to go to the Supreme Court and come back. And that High Court is saying that currently there's no express order ordering or directing the High Court to stop the trial. So that application for stay of proceeding will not hold. So it was dismissed. And yesterday they were asked to come to court for the trial to commence or to continue from there. But yesterday the OSP couldn't put a witness in the box. The explanation was that the witness is indisposed, that the witness is not, is unwell. Okay. And so they were seeking for an adjournment. The defense lawyers raised an issue that, look, if a witness is supposed to come to court and is unwell, there's a standard procedure that you inform the court. You need to produce a medical report to show to the court that indeed the witness is not well. That was not done. Again, the defense was of the view that you have two witnesses to call. So if the one is not available, you could have arranged for the other one to come. But essentially, the court had to adjourn this case to the 7th of July. And by 7th of July, the Supreme Court might have already, of course, 7th of July, that case, the Supreme Court will take the decision on 29th of July. So this case has also been adjourned yesterday when it came up.
What's the latest in the Wontumi Samaboy case? The other leg of Wontumi's trials.
Yes. So this is the Samaboy concession. And today they are not coming to court.
Okay.
Yes, they are not coming to court. But remember that when the judge dismissed Andy Apiakubi's request asking the court that they want to withdraw, the court extended the day for the parties to file their final written submission from the 17th to the 24th. Okay. And today is 24th of June. So the expectation is that all the parties in the case, the Attorney General on one side, represented by the Deputy Attorney General, and Andy Apiakubi, Chairman Wontumi, now his lawyer in the case is Samuel Atashia. They will file their written submissions by close of today. Okay. But I've also spoken to Samuel Atashia, where he made the point that he will go to the court and ask for more time. So we will be looking forward to see what will happen in relation to this case. But also one thing that we should also keep in mind in relation to the judgment date, 3rd July, is that it may be a holiday. Okay. So that judgment day, whether it will come on or not, officially in the coming days, we'll tell you something more. Because 1st July is a Wednesday, and what we do know by way of the current recent executive instrument is that when, apart from the religious holiday, when it falls in the middle of the week, it will be shifted to Friday. So 1st July is Wednesday. So the expectation is that it will be moved to 3rd July. So essentially, it will impede on this judgment date. But of course, that will be a decision that we'll get to know from the court as to whether the 3rd July will still stand or the court would fix another day. But most often than not, what also happens is that if the day in question is a holiday, your date will move to the next available date. So 3rd July is a Friday. If it is a holiday, then 6th July, Chairman Wontumi should be in court. And as to whether that is what will happen, time will tell. Yes.
Let's look at some of the cases coming up today. The therapist who is alleged to have sexually assaulted a broadcaster.
Jonathan Nkunim. So he is facing 4 counts of rape. And this is a matter that Manasseh investigated. This is the matter involving a broadcast journalist. And this is the matter so concerning about somebody who visited a therapist and then ended up being a victim. And in fact, he pleaded not guilty. Today, the parties are up in court. Dufie Prempe, principal state attorney, is expected to address the jury. The assessors will be assisting the judge in arriving at a decision. In this case, they will address them. So by way of the opening addresses, the parties, the defense, and the prosecution would summarize their case to the assessors for them to know what their expectations should be, things that they should be looking forward to in the course of the trial, the number of witnesses who will be coming, what they will be saying, things that they should pay attention to, the elements and all of that. Then, after that, then prosecution will put their very first witness in the box and the trial will officially begin before Justice Louis Simmons. So that's one of the things that we should be expecting today. Of course, today we don't have much, but most of the cases will also resume tomorrow and all of that. So.
Okay. All right, Captain. Thank you very much. That should do for court today. I take a break. When I return, my guests will join me for the breakfast. You know, it's Wednesday, so it's an all-female ensemble. Stay tuned in. welcome back to the show. This is still GH Today here on GH1 TV. I'm Mohammed. It's now time for the breakfast review, and one of my guests has joined us. We are waiting our second guest, but this morning I've been joined by Gipsy Anangbedevi. She is a member of the NDC communications team, and I can see that she's all clad in her jersey. How are you, my darling?
I'm doing so well, Lily. How are you too?
I'm doing very well. It's good to see you.
Good to see you again. It's been a while.
I know.
I think we've been on social media.
Yes, but we've not met.
Yeah. And then happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
I have since not met you to wish you in person, I think I have to do that here.
It's very important.
And I hope it went well.
Oh, yes.
The gift came in.
Yes.
The Lamborghini.
You know? But
everything came in. I like your fugu.
Thank you. You see, I'm an obedient child.
Oh, yeah.
President Mohammed should reward me because I'm an obedient child.
He has to. And even the tourism minister.
Yes.
Honorable Abla Jifangumashi.
Yes.
You know, when you miss the Abla, she will come for us. And then the Ghana.
You know, see, yesterday, why did you watch the match?
Honeysuckle.
Oh, okay.
And the place was like Jesus was coming yesterday.
How?
Hey.
It was charged.
I don't know why all of a sudden all Ghanaians are heated for the Black Stars. I don't know where the energy is coming from, the love, the support. And I think there is this star that got missing some years back, which has been brought back to Ghana once again. And you could see that from Ghanaians all over, not only in Ghana, some other country. Yesterday I saw some whites all over in Ghana jersey, and it's like everybody who is selling Ghana jersey cannot tell you that they are not making money or they are not making profits. Sure. So that is the love we want to see in Ghana. That is now every Ghanaian should be hopeful that we have a country that has the star. That is the star of Africa, not only for Ghana, but the star for Africa. So yesterday, I think at a point, everybody was just praying. You see people's head bow down on the table. Myself, I was just sitting at one corner, raising up my legs. And you see, I could be there and I would be like, God, if we don't score those people, or what if they score us? What will be the message we are going to carry out there? How will South Africans see us?
Oh, yes.
You see.
How will Jacinta
and her all see us? You understand? But kudos to the Black Stars. They did so well yesterday.
They put in their ultimate best.
So it's like we are not going to score. They are also not going to score. So everybody was focused. And my man for the match yesterday was Benjamin Asari.
Oh, yes. Yes, I agree.
The Equiapim guy who has all of a sudden turned into a Ghan boy from Kolegono. That was where he was born and bred. And you see, the Ghan energy is there. I was born and brought up in a Ghan community. So anytime you meet a Ghan who has that Ghan energy, you can see there is some kind of difference in the thing. You see.
Yesterday he was a Kolegono ninja.
What he has here. And you see, Benjamin Asari, we have to show him some love because he is even enthusiasm to play with to help us yesterday. If not, you saw the England's had enough chances yesterday to score us, in as much as our people were putting in more effort to stop them from scoring us. But if it hadn't been Benjamin Asari yesterday, we wouldn't know what would happen to us here. Myself, I would have collapsed at the honeysuckle and they would carry me to my mother at Botiano and tell her that, no, this is what happened. So on a more serious note, Benjamin Asari as a keeper for the Black Star is better than the NPP bringing back Baumia to be a flag bearer. Let me end it there.
Okay. Aila Tabitha has also joined us.
She's a latecomer.
Well, she's here. It's good to see you, Tabitha. I've not seen you this year. Have we met?
No.
Oh, wow, yeah. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been good.
It's good to see you, as always.
Same here. And just as she mentioned, your fugu is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are showing us that you are a true daughter of the land.
You know, yes, I am the Kusasi goddess.
Yes, and we are super proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And for my sister who decided to attack me unprovoked, honestly speaking, I will forgive her for lack of, being sensitive to issues. I'll forgive her for that. And the fact that she also taught it, I don't know, whether wise or whatever, to drag in Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia's name into the conversation, I was like, what's wrong with you? This is an early morning. Let's do something for Ghana. Let's give people something that they can hold on to, because as it stands, a lot of people are grappling. People are surviving. People are barely making it out of the month. And we want to start the conversation by, attacking people. This adds nothing to anybody. There's so many young people out there who are looking up to your government to actually, leave or to go about your work as expected of you. I'm not seeing that. And the statistics are not on your side. So you shouldn't even be the one to start on the attack, foot. You shouldn't do that. Maybe she will have to learn that and then understand that, look, we are no longer in opposition. We are the people that everybody is looking up to. Everybody is expecting us to actually give results. Okay. This is not the time to come and sit on TV and run your mouth and run people down. It doesn't speak well of you as a communicator. When my people were in government, I was very careful and measured with the things that I said, because I know very well that I need to account to the people. As it stands, we actually have nothing to account to the people. The people showed us their verdict. They said, look, go back, sit down, reorganize yourselves, come back, bring something on board, and let us see if we can trust you and give you the mandate. Okay. You don't go on that riot. Probably she will add it to her notes and then understand that I'm not going to do this on a different platform, because the statistics are scary. They are not on your favor. On the 1st of July, we are going to see increments in our tariffs.
Electricity
is going up, water is going up. And even though all these things are going up, they are still not stable. Somewhere last week, I barely had water the whole of the week. I didn't have water running through my taps. At a point, I was using pure water to flush my toilet. That's absurd. But Charlie, we are leaving it. And what can you do? There's nothing you can do. So
I want you to touch on the Black Stars before we come to the utility tariffs.
So let me chill on that issue for now. For the Black Stars, honestly speaking, I'm not a sports enthusiast. I don't really do sports. But, of course, what can I do? I have to talk about sports. The time I had that urge to watch football was when Junior Agogo was playing football.
That's a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, yes. And, they went out of the scene with me. Honestly, I have to be very honest about it.
Don't worry. Let me
Tari and, Jordan, not Jordan, the LD one.
Andre Dedeayu.
Yeah, Dedeayu. I liked him so much. And, I can talk about
Asamoah
Ozil. Those people. I used to watch football around those times. Thierry Henry, they are my people. And I think they went out of the scene with me. Sorry. But that notwithstanding, let me just say that the sports, yesterday I was listening to commentaries from people. And from all that I gathered, I can tell that people are still, people have that faith in the Black Stars. And it is good. It's very good that they have faith in the Black Stars. For instance, yesterday I picked information that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia went to the University of Ghana campus and actually watched the match with the young people, and you could see the joy on their faces. Honestly speaking, that was the moment for me about the whole football situation, that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia had time to actually go and sit with the young people on campus. That made it for me. And just because I want to be patriotic, of course, I need to get a JC. I need to support the team in any way possible that I can. And the fact that we were able to, humble Kane. There's one footballer they call Harry Kane, right?
Yes, Harry Kane.
Yes.
That's the captain of the English team.
Yes, I heard we're able to humble him, and I think that
I like
was
that
aspect of the game that I liked, because people were like, they were scared about Harry Kane coming to do something, but then I think they said Partey was able to handle him very well.
Yes,
those are the commentaries I'm picking.
Okay, so let's hear from. Let me hold you there. Let's hear from a sports analyst. Let him help us understand where we are. What does the 4 points mean? Does it mean that we are on to the next stage? What are the permutations now? Do we have to draw our calculators? I have on phone Daniel Odo, who's a sports analyst. Hi, Daniel. Good morning to you.
Hi, Lily. Good morning. I see you're in very high spirits.
Yes, I am. I mean, you should have seen me last night. But it's good to know that at least we have our 4 points. But let's look at the game, and then we'll look at what the 4 points mean. Last night when we were going into the game, you could see that there was a lot of... the Black Stars were in high spirits. The Black Stars seemed confident going into the game. Is that what we witnessed on the pitch last night?
Yes, I think to a large extent that's what we witnessed, and typically that would happen because the team won its first game of the tournament. That victory against Panama, the way and manner it came, the timing of the victory or the goal, meant that the Black Stars were always going to go into the second game high on confidence, and also the fact that there's a lot of cultural connections between Ghana and England meant that the players didn't need any extra motivation. Look, you won your first match, you play against one of the best teams in the world, and for a lot of players, this is where they show to the world that they are capable and they are able to stand with the very best, go toe-to-toe with them and deliver a result. I think it was an impeccable performance. So not pleasing to the eye, but for the team, the objective was to always get a point or not lose this game and get a 4 points. And with the expanded format of the World Cup, what it means is that 4 points is definitely enough to take you to the next stage of the competition. Look, they are there to fight for this nation, but they are also there to try and qualify. We haven't qualified from the group stages in the last, 3 or so tournaments. Mm-hmm. From Brazil, we were eliminated in the first round. In Qatar, we were eliminated in the first round. The only World Cups we have progressed were in Germany in 2006 and in South Africa in 2010. So for this crop of players, the objective was simple. Once you won against Panama, all you needed to do was to get at least a point in the remaining 2 games. And they were able to do it against England in a game that many thought Ghana was going to be annihilated. So I think that it went according to the script from a Ghanaian perspective. But don't deny the fact that on paper, the English team were always a better side going into the game. The Black Stars were the lowest ranked African team going into the World Cup. So you can understand why on paper we were the underdogs, but we were able to deliver a result.
If you look at the style of play last night, were you particularly surprised? It appeared that even the boys were not starstruck. We've seen matches where some of the players see the people that they idolize, the people that they originally will hear their names on TV and radio, and they'll be starstruck.
I mean, that was never going to be an issue for me. Yes, we have a lot of young players. Some are playing their their first World Cups, but also at club level, these players play with these boys in some of the major European leagues. I don't think Jordan Ayew is going to be overall. Jordan Ayew has played in the English top tier for a very long time. The same as Thomas Partey, the same for Semenyo, who is arguably one of the best African players or one of the best players in the English Premier League in the just ended season. I don't understand why people think they were going to be overall. This is not the first time we're going to the World Cup. If you had mentioned that argument in 2006, when it was our first time appearing at the biggest stage in the world, then I could understand. But not after we have competed in 4 or 5 World Cups, and these players play in some of the best leagues in the world. Partey, until he left Arsenal, was one of their better players or one of their best players. I don't know how it is that when he faces his former colleague in Declan Rice, he's going to feel that he's less of a player than Declan Rice. So, and like I mentioned to you, these players want to perform when the world is watching. When we played Germany in Brazil 2014, we didn't lose against Germany. Brazil went on to win the World Cup. Germany went on to win the World Cup. When we played Brazil in 2006, we were very confident that we were going to beat them, but for maybe the absence of the likes of Michael Essien and co. And every time we have faced a very, very top opposition in the World Cup, we've really come out well. In 2006 against USA, against Czech Republic, even against Italy that we lost, we were not bamboozled, for want of a better word. So I think that for me, it went according to script. These players wanted to make a name for themselves, and a lot of them have really distinguished themselves. And watch them make big career moves after this World Cup because of the performance they put up against England.
Who was the man of the match for you?
You heard the English guy who won the best player, Jude Bellingham, saying that he feel that he didn't deserve it, and that one of the lads from the other side, and I'm quoting him verbatim, that one of the lads from the Ghana team should have won. I think that the defensive pairing of Jerome Opoku and Jonas Ajeti is a very solid defending partnership. We were very worried that our first options in Salisu Mohammed and Jiku were going to be absent for this tournament. But these two players have demonstrated that we didn't need to worry. I feel that they performed very well on the day. I also give Partey a very, very, very high rating in this game. For a player who has a lot of off-the-field issues surrounding himself, was unable to go to Canada because of all the issues that he's had, but put up a very, very commanding display. I think that between the two centre-backs and Thomas Partey, I think them could get me the best player from the Ghana side.
Okay, let's look at what the 4 points mean for us. Do we have to beat Croatia? If they beat us, what does this mean? If we draw, what does this mean?
Well, typically 4 points should be able to take you through because, like I mentioned earlier, because of the expanded nature of the World Cup. So typically, the first two teams in every group would automatically qualify to the next stage. However, because we have 48 teams, the best third place teams will also get to qualify.
Okay.
And if I look at the group, I see some of the second and third place teams having 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. Now we have 4 points. And I don't see how we don't qualify. And we also have one more game to play. Wow. If we win, we get 5 points. Now 5 points out of 9 points means that you've crossed the average mark and you qualify. But from where I sit, I think the job is done. We are going to go into the next stage of the competition. What matters is whether we top the group or we finish second in the group, because where you finished will determine the type of opposition that you're going to get. Usually when you finish in the second place, you're going to meet a team that top their group in another group. So usually you like to top your group and avoid the big boys. But from experience and from the look of the table at this current World Cup, I think 4 points is enough. We have qualified to the next stage of the competition.
Okay. You've watched Croatia play as well. What will it be like playing them? You think we are still going to exhibit what we exhibited last night?
No, I think it's a game that we're going to attempt to win. Croatia is not England. Croatia is a very good team, but it's also an aging team. They haven't been so domineering in the games that they have played. So, I mean, yesterday I watched a bit of their game against...
Hello, Daniel, are you there? Hello? Okay. Unfortunately, we have lost Daniel Odro, but he was making a point about Croatia, that Croatia, yes, they are a good team, but they are aging, and so the Stars are going to go in there to win this particular game. And I am hopeful that we will win. Interestingly, last night, I mean, even though I was hopeful we were going to, I mean, we're actually going to pull some surprises, I was still despondent. I was like, okay. I mean, looking at their first game against Panama, It doesn't appear as though the Stars are ready for this tournament, but they proved me wrong. And I was actually looking for a draw, and they gave me a draw, which is very good. But we need to win our next game, which is very crucial. It will send a signal that we are ready for this tourney. It will send a signal that, yes, we have arrived. We're here. We're here to stay. And so kudos to the Black Stars. But let's look at some sights and sounds after the game.
The giant screen at the Ayawaso East Viewing Center became the focal point of excitement as football lovers trooped in hours before kickoff. Many arrived with cautious optimism, aware of England's pedigree and recent performance. Yet, the atmosphere remained electric as fans rallied behind the Black Stars. The first half ended goalless, leaving supporters encouraged by Ghana's defensive reliance.
This first half, we are good thank you to the players, because they are doing a great thing for us. You could see how defensive they were. They were able to control the front of the England team, and we want them to improve.
The first half was okay. So far, our boys have been very compact in the defense. The only thing is that we should be holding the ball in the middle a bit. But so far, so good. It has been very, very productive. The time
producing crucial saves to keep Ghana level against one of the tournament's strong.
Getting 1 point is not an easy game. So I think we have 4 points now. We are going to the next round. Croatia. We are going to get a 3 points from Croatia. Everybody's happy.
I'm feeling excited because England is a big team that we can win. But for God will, we know we will win them. For our spirits, Ghana. So if the draw is okay for us, as you can see, you see people are jubilating.
What a good fight. They thought we can't, but Allah has done it.
Before the match, you win or draw, the less England can get.
Because Ghana, hey, Ghana, my dear pa, any keeper said that Yankupo, why are dear Yankupo Shrano?
And dear Ghana, much less, Bobo, Aviana, 4 points at a share bottom. Croatia,
Ghana are done well because nobody can play ball like Ghana. We didn't score, but we.
We have players now. I'm happy today. I don't know what to say. I'm happy.
What began as a night filled with uncertainty has ended with a renewed belief among Ghanaian supporters. Holding England to a draw may only be one result, but for these fans gathered in Ayawaso East, it is a statement of intent, a sign that Ghana's journey in the competition is only beginning.
Oh, yes, our journey has just begun. I lost Daniel Opoku there, but he's back online. Daniel, we're talking about the Croatians and what they bring to the pitch as against the Black Stars.
Yes, so like I was saying, Croatia, they've had their golden generation. They're a good side, no two ways about that. But I don't think that they've demonstrated that enough in this tournament. I mean, they have 3 points, only thanks to the fact that they beat Panama yesterday by 1-0. I think in that game, we would feel that our chances are better. We played them before, the first time we went to the World Cup. And I think that the players know that they've already qualified. There's not a lot of pressure. Usually when you go into your third game and it's a must win for you, you are likely to commit errors. You are likely to feel nervous in that game. But going into that game with 4 points, with qualification almost guaranteed, the players are going to be more relaxed. I think they're going to open up they are not going to be as defensive as they have been in the first two games, especially against the England team. And I think that we would have a better chance at really scoring some goals. We haven't scored a lot of goals, but we haven't conceded any goals at this tournament. It's probably the first time we've gone into a major tournament that after two games, we haven't picked up any ball from our net, as in we haven't conceded any goal. And that's very impressive, and that's testament to the defensive abilities of this coach. It was a defensive masterclass, but I think we'll see a different game against Croatia. Our chances are bright against Croatia.
Okay, Daniel, thank you very much. And we hope to speak to you again, hopefully after our Croatian encounter, and we beat them. We are hopeful. After Panama, I was quite scared, but the Black Stars have shown that they indeed are a better side in this game. We went in as an underdog, but we've shown the world that we are not an underdog. That's Daniel Odo. He's a sports analyst. My guests are still here. You can see that we're still excited about the Black Stars. Going into Croatia, I'm not sure I'll meet you before the Croatian game. Going into Croatia, your predictions?
For now, I would say we just need one goal to move on wherever we want to be as a team and as a country. So one goal.
Ayla, what of you? Are you hopeful that we're going to score against the Croatians?
Oh, so far, looking at what they have done so far, I think I'm beginning to have some faith in them.
I know, right?
Yes. I'm not lying about that. I'm beginning to have some faith in them. And yesterday, I saw the excitement in the eyes of a lot of young people, and I was like, wow, I'm happy for you guys because I have lost that spark. But all things being equal, I think the Black Stars will make it through the group stages, and they will definitely make us proud. My all-time best Black Star music is "They Are Going to Make It the Top."
Oh, yes.
Black Stars, that song forever and ever. It's just over here. But you see, there are some aspects of it that we shouldn't, forget about. Yesterday, for instance, before 7, I think when it was around 6:50, 6:55, thereabout, my area, we didn't have lights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my neighbor had to, leave the area to his friend's place, a different place altogether. Somewhere around the Tema enclave, we didn't have lights. It was later on that it came. I think they should be very careful about that. People shouldn't be doing this around this time, especially with a crucial match as that of yesterday. That was actually not the best. And also, we shouldn't also lose sight of the fact that the NDC is not actually doing the right thing when it comes to the way they handpicked people to go and watch the match. I think we'll talk about that after everything.
Handpicked which match?
I mean, to watch the match.
As in
to go abroad.
Oh, okay.
I'm hearing that those abroad that are supposed to get free tickets to watch the games, they are rather paying for those tickets. Some are saying they paid $500 before they could get a ticket from them. That is wrong. Let's stop some behaviors. When we leave the shores of Ghana, we shouldn't send some behaviors of ours there. Why do you have to
and you think this was the doing of the party?
Of course, you should know. This is common knowledge that it's going to be party people that will have the tickets. It's common knowledge.
This particular information I am not aware, but I'm sure that we can verify to ascertain the authenticity of it, whether or not.
Because I've seen several people making videos of it, saying that they have to pay for the tickets. Meanwhile, the tickets are supposed to be free. So maybe they can also look at that.
Okay. I'll be glad if my producer can, if you have those videos, you can share with my producer, so we can, have a conversation at the back. But let's talk about national issues, shall we? Let's talk about the utility tariffs that will be adjusted from the 1st of July. There was an announcement by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission that beginning 1st of July, electricity will see an upward adjustment of 3.4%, and then water 0.8%. Since you ended, you may want to start on that.
Yes. So you see, I think this is not the first of its kind that the party, or should I say the NDC, has done. I think since they came to power, they have been increasing tariffs every 3 months. The first time I saw, and I can remember, if only maybe, dating back to the fourth month of their assumption, they started increasing tariffs. And they were very specific about what is informing their increases. And some of the reasons they established includes, one, and if only you actually go through the letters that they have been releasing, you can see that there are 4 main factors that is triggering this increment. One, the exchange rate between the US dollar and the Ghana cedi. That is one. They are talking about the domestic inflation rate. They are talking about the cost of fuel. They are talking about the electricity generation mix. These are the 4 things. And so I don't expect my sister to even say that IMF is saying we should be, increasing tariffs every 3 months. I don't think that is how it's supposed to be. So my sister shouldn't even go there. Because, everything that we do, we need to keep track of government's activities. When the MPP assumed power in 2017, we didn't increase tariffs in our first year. We never did. We never increased tariffs. But ever since the NDC assumed power, they've been increasing tariffs every 3 months. They have never, ever missed that opportunity of increasing tariffs. And so I think that people must just should brace themselves, because it's going to be like that till the year ends. And who knows, maybe next year they will continue. Now, you look at the fact that the adjustment, the salary adjustment that we had in this particular year, and the increments that we are seeing in utilities don't really, they don't really make sense. You give somebody, let's say, a single-digit increase in their salary, and then you keep on increasing. So let's say that on the average, they are increasing, let's say, 3% across. Just do the calculation. At the end of the year, we have, 4 quarters in the year. Let's say 3% by the 4. What are we getting? We are getting 369, 12% on the average. I'm just saying on the average. But it's going to be more than that, because we haven't seen any increment that has been below 3% so far. So you ask yourself, is the NDC actually aware that they are overtaxing the people? They are overtaxing us. You were against e-levy. And even if we are even doing the maths for e-levy, and what you decided to bring, that is 1 Ghana cedi on each liter of fuel, you can tell that these people are actually ripping us off. If you are consuming, let's say, 50 liters of fuel in a week, what it means is that you as an individual, you are paying the government 50 Ghana cedis every week on fuel. We understand that when they introduced the 1 Ghana cedi per liter, fuel was doing somewhere around 9 Ghana to 10 cedis. But now fuel is doing over 16 Ghana cedis. Don't they think it is time for them to stop or should I say drop the 1 Ghana on each liter of fuel? You are still taking 1 Ghana from us, and we are still faced with what they call it, doomso. You are increasing water bill. Meanwhile, we still don't have water running through our taps. Some people in Kaswa are saying that for close to a year now, they've never seen water run through their taps. Meanwhile, all we are seeing is you are increasing tariffs. The question we should be asking the NDC is, what are they actually doing with the taxes that they are taking from us? Because in a day, the government makes millions of Ghana cedis from Ghanaians because you go to the pump to pump fuel. And the promise was that with this 1 Ghana cedi on each liter of fuel, we shouldn't have any interruptions when it comes to power supply. But that is not what we are seeing. Yesterday, people in my area had to close their shops early because the light was not there for them to work. And you ask yourself, what is going to drive your so-called 24-hour economy? All these things, or your 24-hour economy, is going to be pivoted on the same electricity that you claim you are going to supply. So the people of Ghana can see clearly that the NDC is only interested in taking money from them, but not actually, giving them the services that they deserve as a country. And I think that it is time they did what? They upped their game. I already indicated that when we came, for 3 to 4 good years in our 8 years governance, we never increased tariffs. There was even a time that we went ahead to reduce tariffs. We can talk about the COVID-19 time, where some people didn't even have to pay electricity because they were not really, high consumers. This is our track record. And what do you have to come and, defend? You have nothing, because you have shown us that even with monies that the people have given you, you still cannot give us light. You still cannot give us light. And it's unfortunate that we cannot, hide from these taxes. We can't hide from it, because you buy fuel, they are taking it from you. You buy electricity, you have money, but you still do not get the services that you have already paid for. Let's not forget that we pre-finance them. It's not like they are giving you to consume, then later on you come and pay. No. You are pre-financing them, and even with that, they still cannot give you fuel. And you cannot tell me that the MPP didn't do anything to, make our electricity, sector better. We did a lot. We made sure that we added over 1,000, megawatts of power to the national grid. You can't take that away from us. And you can see the statistics clearly right from 2017. We made sure that every year till we left power in 2024, we were always increasing the power, adding power to the national grid. The generation, yes, to the national grid. So what are you doing with the extra monies that we are giving
we're
you?
Still experiencing intermittent power cuts, were we not?
Definitely. But let me tell you, cumulatively, in our 8 years, I can tell you that we, with our power, disruptions or whatever you may call the doom, so that we experience in our 8 years, these guys have actually come to outdo us in that regard. And the statistics are there for us to always revisit. We can always revisit these statistics. We saw right from the day we handed power to them that they cannot and will not be able to give us power. And it has been the same throughout 2025 to 2026. We are still experiencing it. So there is never going to be that instance where they can ever tell us that they have done better in terms of electricity supply and in terms of pricing of the electricity supply that people have enjoyed in this country. Not forgetting that they were the very people who were saying that give us power and we are bringing 24-hour economy. So your 24-hour economy, you should know. Nobody should be telling you that you can't achieve it without giving people uninterrupted power supply. And your promise to the people was that give us 1 Ghana cedi on each liter of fuel and you will be assured that you will never have power cuts. But that is not what we are experiencing. And I have told you that throughout 2025, we had power cuts. Throughout. Running through to even this particular year. And we are in the middle of 2026. And we are still faced with the same challenge. I told you about yesterday. My area, we didn't have lights. People had to close their shops early and leave. So please.
And do you know whether or not it was because there was a challenge or it's doomsday?
I don't know what it was.
But is this something your area has been faced with?
No. I think for the past 1 week, we never had lights out. For the past 1 week, it was just yesterday around 6:50 thereabout, going to 7 o'clock that the lights went off.
Okay.
So even if you actually...
And what time did the lights come back?
I didn't check because I also left the area.
Okay.
I had some things to do that because we didn't have lights, I couldn't do it. So I left the area.
But by the time you returned, was the light back?
The lights was on.
Okay.
And that was somewhere around 9, 10 thereabouts. The lights then came. Okay. But you see, that was wrong.
So it means that was an isolated case?
That not necessarily. I told you that we have been faced with this power cuts throughout last week.
But you said the whole of last week you didn't have...
I mean a week to...
So throughout the year, how many times have
My
you...
dear, I cannot keep, track of that. But I can tell you
I want to find out that throughout the year in your area, I mean, have you been experiencing intermittent?
Yes, throughout.
Okay.
I can tell you for a fact that in a month we don't get... we get our power cuts at least, 5 to 6 days in a month. I'm telling you.
Which area is this?
Tema, somewhere around Tema, thereabout. I wouldn't disclose exactly where.
Okay.
But Tema.
Maybe we may have to report this to the
And
electricity.
another thing, I think that I will have to be sending you an alert that, my area, we actually have power cuts.
Yeah.
Since you are interested in knowing whether we actually have it or not.
So that, I mean, we can equally report to the general public
of
that,
course,
okay, this is the situation.
My Facebook handle, for instance, whenever I get power cuts, at times I go and write about it. Because I don't see why they should be giving me power cuts. Because I'm paying for it. And your promise was that my 1 Ghana cedi on each liter of fuel should be able to get me out of, such situations.
Okay.
And look, it is a known fact that we still have power cuts in the system. I don't know where you stay, and since you cannot, relate with my challenge, I can tell you for a fact that I have that challenge in my area. And yesterday was a classical example where my neighbor...
No, I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm just, I mean, I want to find out maybe if it's across the board, if something you'll be experiencing throughout the year.
Yes, it's across throughout the year. Somewhere last month, it was bad.
Okay.
I can tell you that last month, there were days I slept in darkness.
Okay.
I slept in darkness. There was a day I actually didn't charge my phone. And I don't also have what do you call it? The power bank. I don't have one.
Okay.
I didn't have my phone working for like 3 to 5 hours because I was just praying for day to break so I can leave the house,
go to work
and charge my phone. That is bad.
Okay.
That shouldn't be happening in today's Ghana. You understand? And so the NDC and their promises, I think the people of Ghana are actually looking forward to seeing results.
Okay.
And that is what we should all be asking for from them.
Okay.
And I don't think that it is okay for anybody to say we can tolerate 1 or 2 power cuts in a month. No, we can't tolerate that. We are living in the capital city, and this is where everything happens in Ghana. So if we continue to have these power cuts, what we are doing is that we are frustrating businesses. And we are not actually, encouraging their 24-hour economy that they want to encourage. And the fact that they are even trying to get markets to function 24-hour a day, and they frustrating the system in this regard, is actually very shameful. And I think that whoever is in charge of this should be listening to the people and making sure that they are doing the right thing by the people.
Okay.
We cannot continue to pay for services that we are not getting. There should be value for whatever we are putting our monies into. And I already told you, as for the MPP, we have outdone ourselves in terms of when it comes, increases in power. We have made sure that in our first year in government, we didn't increase any electricity. And that sad aspect where some NDC communicators would like to claim that the power cuts, or should I say, the increases that we are seeing is as a result of the fact that there's an IMF conditionality that they are supposed to make quarterly increments. It's flawed. And so my sister shouldn't even be attempting to mention that one.
Okay. Gifty.
Lily, it's quite funny how my sister Tamita here is talking about doomsaw. But you see, it is important that when we get platforms like this, we educate the public about quarterly tariffs adjustments. And let me read from what the PRC said. The Commission says that adjustments are necessary to keep utility financially viable and present load shedding. One, I want to touch on the one Ghana cedi levy on the fuel, just to ease some kind of burden on the electricity. Listen, when we came to power in 2025, the debt we came to meet at ECG was ballooned by the NPP. And then Ato, who is forcing, together with the energy minister, put their heads together and managed to clear off some of the debt from ECG, because the independent power suppliers were at the verge of even attacking the energy minister for their monies, which they, the Tabites, the NPPs, did before they left power. We managed to do that. And then let me remind her that the issue of power issue, every government has faced power issue. If she could recall, at a point in their government, the then energy minister Napo even told Ghanaians that they should go and do their own timetable. I don't expect my sister to sit here and be talking that. You even asked her where the light out was going from, and she couldn't even mention the exact area. I was expecting her to mention the area, so I personally would take that upon myself and then contact the energy minister right on air. Because there was last week like this, my area, when the rains were just falling in just like that, there was a cable that went off, and when the ECG came, they realized that if they leave it like that, it might cause some electrical shocks to people who are passing by. So they had to cut power for us for 5 days. Okay. I personally slept, and the entire community slept in darkness for 5 days. I didn't complain, the community didn't complain, because ECG did an engagement for the community people to understand what exactly was happening. And within that 5 days, they were not responding to our calls again. And there, I have to call in Richmond, who is a PR to the energy minister. And then he quickly placed me on the line and with the elders of the community, and they were able to tell us that they were working on some cables to come and rectify the problems for us. So if she was bold enough to mention the area where the issue is continually happening, we'll be able to rectify the problem. We'll rather call on ECG right away to ask them that what exactly is happening in that area. Because after the incident at Akosombo Dam, the fire outbreak over there, the minister came and then pleaded with Ghanaians that this is the issue. Even to that, he was able to suspend a whole CEO. So investigations will be done. And later he came to tell us that, okay, the issues have been resolved. And since then, we have had stable power. So I don't know where she is getting her infos from. Then again, the public should know that she said I shouldn't mention IMF conditionalities. Everyone has a phone now, and phone has made it easier for us to Google about either one is saying the truth or not. So you can go online right now, look for IMF conditionalities where Baumia and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo signed. And it was written boldly that page 77 that tariffs will be adjusted every quarter. Every quarter. So this is not the issue of the NDC government, which is not performing its duties right, which resort or promises that they made to Ghanaians, they are not bringing it to the table for Ghanaians to see. That is not it. You people left power. You came into power and created a whole lot of mess for us. See, I'm disappointed in my sister Tabitha here, because I wish she could be going online each and every day and be reading things that Ghanaians are writing over there.
But you know that in as much as there's a conditionality for a quarterly adjustment, it does not state specifically how much. It does not explicitly tell PURC how much you're supposed to adjust it to.
So as I'm speaking to you, I'm still with your document here. And it says what? PURC has not released a detailed breakdown, but the commission typically adjusts tariffs under its automatic adjustment formula to cover the cost of generation, transmission, distribution, and water treatment. You see, we shouldn't be here and pretend as if everything was okay under NPP when they were in power. We shouldn't be here discussing and be putting blame on the NDC government. Meanwhile, governance is a continuity. And at the end of the day, you left something bad. And this current government is in and says that, no, I am not going to do the blame game here. But as to how Ghanaians will be comfortable, that is why they went to the polls to vote for me. As to when Ghanaians will be relieved from all the burden, all the mess, all the Wula balloon taxes, all the e-levies, all the cakes cut out of e-levy, all the monies they took from Ghanaians and told them that they were going to create jobs for them. Today, NDC, together with President John Dramani Mohammed and my appointees, are in to make Ghanaians feel that we are different from the NPP. You understand? At some point of time in their government, even in parliament, lights went off. Why is she not talking about that? And she is here doing the blaming game, doing the damage control, as if it is the NDC which brought all those things. Now, I always see it on television or when I get the platform like this to tell Ghanaians that it is not politicizing those things that will make us have that kind of loyalty from Ghanaians. But we always want to tell the Ghanaian the truth. That when we came to meet in government, even on 7th of January, when President John Dramani Mahama was being sworn in, we had light out across the country. We had light out. As I speak to you now, the president and the energy minister has brought in about 3,000 transformers that they are fixing across the country. As I speak to you now, there are some places that the transformers were even left to rot. The NPP government and its energy minister at the time saw all those things happening, but because they were going into an election, which they want to let Ghanaians know that, oh, we've done well with their free SHS, which collapsed that today. We are trying to amend it and shape it well for Ghanaians. You see, one thing they always speak about is free SHS, but they did not know that the free SHS they gave to Ghanaian students at the time, it is what has enlightened the children today to know that NPP, it's a government that do not have to come close to politics or governance anymore.
Why?
Why? Because the children have realized that, oh, these people have given me free SHS. I can read and write. And at the end of the day, reading enlightens you to know more about who is telling the truth or who is lying to you. And today they have read about the Japadia deal document. And today they have read about the message President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia.
That Japadia document has never been authenticated. So
see, but we are seeing things right now. We are seeing things that were written in that document, which is happening under their in their party. We saw the likes of their finance minister, who is on the run today.
You cannot say he's on the run.
No, Lily, spare me this. He is on the run because we allege that there are some mistrust and some things that went on in his government. So as a minister, as a leader, the Ghanaian government, current government, is calling on you to come and answer questions. So to clear the minds of people that you are at fault or you are not at fault. And he's not coming.
But he has lawyers.
He has lawyers. And our monies are being used to pay big lawyers. When we say somebody is a lobbyist in America, that person in Ghana, we say is a connection man. This is a lawyer he's gone in to use our monies to pay for. When IMF monies were passing through his bank and he was taking the 12% out, but then he didn't know he has lawyers who has to defend him, not to come to Ghana and answer questions to what we Ghanaians are claiming he has done. You understand? So this is not the point, my sister.
I don't think the law bars him from being out there and asking his lawyers to represent him. The law does not bar him.
No, but what we are saying is that as a good leader who have served your country diligently, and mostly we see that Christianity lifestyle in Ken Ofori-Atta. He was the first finance minister who always quotes quotations from the Bible when he's in to present budgets to us. So Ghanaians had that confidence in him, that Ghanaians had that hope in him, that, hey, this our finance minister, dear, he doesn't have any blemish on him, you understand? But this is the issue that after 7 for 8 years, and we're calling on you to answer just few questions pertaining to what we Ghanaians are claiming that you have done, and you are nowhere to be found. So that should even ring a bell in their camp. And what I always tell Ghanaians is that 2028 elections will be coming soon. And then if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the NPP feels they stand fit to contest for that election or stand on any political platform to campaign to Ghanaians, they should be holding the hands of Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, the then finance minister, to come and answer those questions before he, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and NPP, will stand the chance to campaign to Ghanaians for them to listen. Because this is our money, our taxpayers' money, our sweat we are talking about. You understand? Then again, ECG as it stands now is working so hard with the energy minister to stabilize our electricity for us in this country. And let me put on record, it was about a month or two ago when I took forcing, who I always say is forcing with financial, physical discipline to make our economy stable, to make our dollar stable for businessmen, and together with all of us sitting here as Ghanaians, he went into parliament publicly and accounted for the 1 Ghana cedi levy he took. This is the difference between NPP and NDC. When we take your monies, we will come back to you and tell you that, see, we are using this 1 Ghana cedis for this. And at the end of the day, we've been able to use it to maintain this for you. We've been able to use it to do this for you. Let me ask my sister here, is she aware? She mentioned at a point that they were able to add 120 megawatts to the energy sector.
Megawatts.
Yeah. Is she aware that President John Dramani Mahama in 2015-2016 brought in the car power plant? Is she aware about the Atuabo power gas pipeline, which is augmenting our electricity to be stable in this country? Is she aware that John Dramani Mahama added about 1,800 megawatts? Then that was able to sustain the power between the time they rule in their government, because he did that for a 10 years duration before his tenure ended. So they are rather at their tenure 8 years enjoyed what President John Dramani Mahama did in the energy sector before he left. And you see, close to election 2024, when there were times that they were able to do this adjustment because of the IMF conditionalities, they didn't do it because they wanted to use that to gain favor from the very electorate who were going to the polls to vote for them. And there, Ghanaians said, no, the way you managed our economy, we didn't like it. The way you embedding us with a lot of taxes in this country, we didn't like it. So they voted against them with a huge margin of 1.7 million votes in this country, which was unprecedented. You see, so this is the time my sister Tabitha, together with the NPP, should rather find a way of learning from the NDC government. You understand? The way we are ruling the economy, this way, how much is a dollar today? It is not up to 17 cedis in this country. The businessman who is working at Abosokai will tell you that today, I can count my money and go and buy my spare parts and come back and sell it in peace. The other time, every month, every minute, the dollar was just shooting up. You see, and kudos to the finance minister, kudos to Honorable Sami Jemfi, who is gold boarding to support the Ministry of Finance. For us to be here, we are today.
I like the fact that I say gold boarding.
Yeah, he's gold boarding to support the country, and which they didn't do. We have some brilliant guys in NDC, which they, the NPP at a time, they said, we have the men, we have the men. At the end of the day, the men were trotro boys. You understand? Today, we are not mentioning names. We are not telling people. We are not putting out slogans. We are not putting out jargons and all over. We don't have names for our budgets and all, including budgets and what have you. And what the least she can mention is that we cannot implement the 24-hour economy. Let me educate here and tell her that we are not rushing the 24-hour economy like they did to food for planting for food and job, which collapsed. The phase 1, phase 2, they injected Ghanaian taxpayers' money into it, and there was nothing to show. That we are not rushing it. Before
what are the timelines with the 24-hour economy? Because you've been in power for a year and 6 months. So how long should Ghanaians wait? We should wait till 2028?
Lily, 8 years was used to collapse our economy. 8 years was used to damage every single thing. President John, from the time of Nkrumah, Rawlinses, and what have you, came to rule this country. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Bawumia, NPP-led government used 8 years to damage the country for us. And you expect us to use 1 year, 6 months to build up the country?
But that is what you promised us.
I'll come to the 24-hour economy. You understand? The 24-hour economy policy, it's in progress.
Okay.
You know of building of, how do you call it, the 24-hour markets. And in every district, it is going on there. I have one in my district. Tabitha has one in her district.
Is it a realistic thing?
It is.
To have a 24-hour market?
It is.
That people will go to the market and be there till 4 a.m., 5 a.m.? Is it very realistic? Because people go to bed. So I'm wondering at what point, and then in terms of security as well.
Lily, today we have, I'm glad we will be coming to the traveling issues and whatever. And I think that side will have to tackle the 24 hours very well. So let me end my submission that when we get there, then I take you through what exactly the security matters that we have to enhance and then do a lot of employment and the 24-hour economy and all those stuff so that we can talk about that. So now, ending on the utility tariffs thing, let me let my sister know here that what they did down is what we are following. The quarterly adjustment they went to sign with IMF is what we are doing today. We are continuing for them. And at a point when everything is okay and stabilized in the economy, we'll go back and review it for the betterment of the country and for the comfortability of the ordinary Ghanaian who went out there to vote for the NDC.
Okay. I have about 10 minutes to go. I want us to touch on the Afrobarometer report, which says that 7 out of 10 young Ghanaians want to leave the country, travel out for better or greener pastures. Now, I ask, before the 2024 elections, the NDC particularly promised us a reset, promised us jobs, promised us a better country. How is it that a year and a half into your administration, now 7 out of 10 young Ghanaians will rather go out there than stay in country? Gifty.
Lily, let me say thank you for your question. But this is not the first time people are traveling out of the country. Somewhere 2022, 2023, Ghanaians experience the worst moments when you get to the airports. You see, people, even teachers, were packing up their belongings to leave the country because they weren't feeling the comfortability Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo promised them under the government. But let me then again send this to our sisters and brothers who want to leave the country. Did they recently see what is happening in South Africa? That the foreign affairs minister, together with the president, will have to find a way of bringing them in because we don't even have budget for that. But we managed to squeeze ourselves as a country where 1 year, 6 months, we didn't even go externally to take any loan to rule this country. That is one thing my sister should know, that Ghana as it stands now is not ruling the country on any external loan. We are managing the small one we have internally to rule the country. But I don't know the motive behind why they want to travel. Some are traveling because they feel their salary or their incomes are not meeting their demands daily. You understand? Which I agree with them perfectly. I agree with them perfectly that if you feel your demands, your income is not meeting your demand on a daily basis, you look out to whatever you have to do to make your income increase a bit to meet your demand. But then again, this is a government which took unemployment rates from 14.7. I don't know if you have today checked from our program, which President Mahama promised Ghanaians that he was every year going to see about 10,000 youths in Ghana here, train them, take them through mentorship, take them through business, how to plan your business. And then again, when we are done with all those trainings and you fit into a CEO position, or if you already have a business, he is going to support you financially to establish your job. So you can also employ some people to ease the unemployment rate.
And what has been the progress? Because if in 2024 we're recording an unemployment rate of 13.6, and in 2026 we are looking at 13.
6% is gone. It's not easy for a government who came to meet unemployment.
But for a government that promised us 133.
133 is there. And as I mentioned, the markets are going on in each district. And those markets you mentioned again, that are people going to stay there from 5 a.m. till the next morning. Lily, you and I know very well that today, even hospitals are working 24 hours in this country.
They've always worked 24 hours.
Yeah, you and I know that when you go to CMB markets today, women, our own women, work 24 hours in that market. You go there as early as 1 a.m., 2 a.m. People from my own Botiano English, I'm from, fry fish, smoke fish, and carry them to the market to sell. Are they not doing 24 hours? So if these markets are being built and put into modern structures, can they get a place to, a restroom to lay their heads? Can they get a place to keep their staffs for the staffs not to be stolen by thieves and all that? And that brings us back to security issues. Today, President John Dramani Mahama promised us that in 4 years, before his 4 years tenure goes to an end, he is going to pick about 12,000 security. And today it's ongoing. A badge of the military is in training. Some at Bondase, some at Teshi, some at Asawasi, some at Sunyani and all those places. Some has even received congratulatory messages in waiting for their dates to leave for training. So there is a lot of progress being made with the 24-hour economy, because you cannot establish a 24-hour economy without getting security on a standby to augment the ones we already have. And you could see unemployment shoots up. That was how come we saw the stampede we saw at the Ewa Sports Stadium. From 2021 till 2025, when we 2026 this year, when we started the recruitment process, you saw what happened. The number just shoot up like that because there was nothing like security recruitment in this country. You see, so Ghanaians, we are not in hurry to bring up the 24-hour economy, which to make it look as if we are behaving like the NPP who went in for the planting for food and jobs, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, which didn't yield any result. But our Ghanaian taxpayers' money went into it without accounting to the very people who paid the tax to you before you went to do those things. You understand? So they should look forward for the 24-hour economy in no time. We are not saying it is taking us to 2028. No. Some of the 24-hour market, some are at 30-25%, and gradually we are getting there.
Okay.
It is a promise John Dramani Mahama has made to the very Ghanaians, and we'll make sure that we implement it. Okay. And then you cannot implement the 24-hour economy without roads. We were in this country when the NPP declared year of road 3 times, but when you ask them to mention one, they don't. My sister Tabitha cannot even mention one. Some monies were even taken. Today, one to me is standing trials because of some road issues.
Okay.
You understand? He took money and the roads were nowhere to be found.
Okay.
This is the NPP for you.
Okay.
We are in to build some confidence, build some hope, like the Black Stars are building hope for us again. John Dramani Mahama has always been truthful to us. The NDC is the only political party now that can tell you the truth, that can give you the difference between the NPP and the NDC.
Tabitha.
Yes, so my sister has done herself a lot of disservice this morning.
How?
A lot of disservice because it's like she didn't pay attention to the fact that I said we are no longer under the IMF. And there is nowhere in those letters that PURC released did we see them telling us that as part of the expectations or the conditionalities of IMF, we are increasing our tariffs. My sister, I indicated to you clearly that they made mention of 4 things. The dollar to CD ratio being one of the reasons. Don't be here, trying to mislead people. We have the president even coming out and boldly claiming that we are no longer under the IMF. So why are you still pushing or pulling in the IMF factor? It cannot and will never wash because it is not even supposed to be mentioned in the first place. Now listen, if you are incompetent, you are incompetent, and there is nothing you can do about it. There is really nothing you can do about it. I told you that the NPP came in 2017 and never increased any electricity. You can go and check it for yourself. In our second year, which was 2018, what we rather did was that we reduced electricity tariffs by almost 18%. By almost 18%. Unprecedented, which your government has never done. Not in, Atamils 1 nor Mahama 1. We never saw that. So what are you comparing? Then the next year or the following year, which was 2019, we went back and did what? Increased it to almost 17% from the reduction that we did. You can never come and say you are going to compare notes with us because you can't do that. The statistics is there to show that we have outdone ourselves when it comes to electricity. So my sister, please, let's not go to that place because you are going to fail. Now listen and let me tell you something. The transformers you made mention of, that you bought 3,000 transformers. I don't know where you had that information from.
It is actually...
When? Didn't they tell us that the transformers that were lost... there was a time that the energy minister told us that some transformers were missing.
He didn't mention transformers. He mentioned cables.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Point
transformers
of correction.
were there.
He mentioned
Please
cables.
don't interrupt me.
No.
She's here to do that for us.
She's
here to fact check me, please. Cables were parts. But we all know, and you can fact check. Let your people fact check me. That those transformers that they used to replace the ones that were down didn't come from anywhere. They came from those same... No, that's what I'm saying, that let them fact check me.
Please complete your statement.
The transformers that were used to replace the ones that were down some time back, was it at Akusombo and other places? They didn't buy any new transformers.
There were 3,000 procured. 3,000 procured. That's a
you are getting it wrong. This
Please,
is even recent.
that's what I'm telling you.
They
that
are not
fact
even
check
done.
it.
They are not
because
even done
after this program,
them.
we can still even go ahead to fact check me.
No. It's
Please
not right.
don't tell me no. That's something that
Tabitha,
I
it's
have
not right.
given
It's
you
not
the
right.
opportunity.
You are not right.
To, why? Even on Ecosi said the former EC boss, Mr. Dubik,
ECG boss.
ECG boss rather,
he came and indicated that they didn't buy any new transformers. And if anybody has anything to counter him, the person should come. Please, don't just say, bring facts and figures. I have given you an information that Mr. Dube is not
hold on.
Please, I beg you, don't
that
do this
declaration was made by President Mohammed in the northern region. In the northern region.
How can you tell me that you bought transformers within 2 weeks and it got to Ghana? My dear, please.
Which 2 weeks are you even talking about?
Don't go. How long did it take for them to fix those transformers?
This issue started
my sister,
when we came into power.
You cannot leave this to her. Let your people fact check me and let me move on.
I have told you that what we have here is 3,000 transformers.
3,000. That was even recently.
When?
As of April 2026.
You see?
No. I'm telling you,
Tabitha, you are not current. No, you are not current.
I'm telling you that the transformers that were down, that they replaced, those transformers didn't come from anywhere. They came from the same consignment that they claimed was missing. Mr. Dubik said this.
The energy minister,
but wait, you are hold on. You are referring to a former ECG boss.
Yes.
As against the current energy minister who is currently there.
Do you know why? Do you know why he came out and spoke? He came out and spoke because there was a lot of misinformation and disinformation in the system. Just like what you are trying to do this morning on this platform. He came out and set the record straight.
Tabitha, Ghanaians want to be educated.
When was this?
You should stop this. You are rather interjecting me, and you should
when did Samuel Dubik Mahama say this?
When? I said he said this just around the same time the transformers were replaced. On a same platform. I listened to him. So you can fact check me. I've given you my source. So just do that. And let me move on. So please, my sister, when it comes to the electricity sector, you can never flaw us there. That one, it's not gonna work. Then you made mention of the finance minister and that he is not there. He should be coming back and Ejapad. Please, Ejapadia. We all know it was orchestrated by the NDC. They claim that when we come, that we were
something
going to
you people.
Gifty.
No, Lily.
My sister, no. I actually quizzed. Hold on. I actually quizzed you on the Ejapadia. So please allow her.
That Ejapadia document, if you actually take time and read through it, you can see that it is the playbook of the NDC, and they are rather playing it out.
How do you ascertain? You are alleging without proof.
By our
no, but you are alleging without proof.
I'm not alleging without.
Where's your proof?
Without proof.
That's why I quizzed them. But so that's why I'm asking you your proof.
Because they were claiming that we were going to, take the country's mineral resources and other resources, but who in the MPP have you seen buying any mineral resource in the country? It's the president's own brother. The president's own brother has acquired mineral resource, or should I say, they call it what?
A concession.
Concession.
But does the law bar him, the president's brother, from getting it? No.
It doesn't, yes. But they claim that we were going to do that. But we never did.
When did they claim that?
In the Japadia book. Did you read it?
No, I mean, if it's a document.
So she bringing in that element of the Japadia. I am telling her that we never wrote anything of that sort. And even if there is anybody who is playing, or should I say, acting out whatever the book was talking about or dictated, then it is their government that is rather doing that. Not us.
Let me.
You cannot let me. Let me keep going.
You don't lie when you sit on a national television.
Unfortunately, we're out of time.
There was a contract.
Why are you jittering? You cannot
where people went to beat
Gifty,
and then
allow her.
Mahama won the contract with 3 people.
Gifty, allow her land. Allow her land.
Are not right.
Gifty, allow her land. Gifty. Ladies. No. I'm out of time. I'm going to wrap up. So please land on your point.
Yes. So you see, she made mention of. You can always try somebody in absentia. You don't need to have the person physically present. And we have done that already with Sedinam Tamaklu. So my sister shouldn't even mention this in the first place. Let your government go ahead and, you know, prosecute the man. Start the trial. Nobody is holding you.
Okay.
We did say, we never heckled you people to bring Sedinam. Now, you see, the man has even gone ahead to acquire a green card from the USA. Do you know why they gave him the green card? Because they've seen that you people are not interested in finding, you know,
that doesn't mean he cannot be tried.
Finding concrete reasons.
My dear, let's educate the public.
Actually,
there are people
I don't
watching
like
us
what
to
she's
learn
doing
from
this
us.
morning. I actually
please let
like
her
it.
land. I'm out of time.
I don't like it.
You see,
talk to her. You see, I'm telling you that as we are talking, Sedinam Tamaklu. Sedina Tamaklu. That a court of competent jurisdiction actually found her to be guilty of all the crimes that they leveled against her, is currently sleeping in an air-conditioned room with serving her team.
You have evidence.
Because we have information.
You have information. Where? From whom? From whom?
To Ghana.
You see, there are lots of ladies. If you talk over each other, I will end the show. So listen to me.
No, you should rather be talking to her. I'm supposed to talk.
Listen to me, Tabitha.
I'm listening.
You are saying that you have information from whom that Sedina is. This is national television. You cannot throw things about and expect that it flies. From whom? What is your source? Because what you're saying is huge.
Yes, so let me say it. Let me tell you something.
From whom? Where did you get your information?
From
What's the source of your information?
Concerning Sedina. Did you hear from the presidency concerning Sedina? That she is in the country.
Yes.
And that she's, so where is she? Where is she? She's in the country. Where? She should be in prison by now. Where is she?
Government communication came out boldly.
No, she is
tell us that Sedinam is in the hands of the prison service.
So you think that once the courts have found her guilty, she's brought back through an extradition treaty, and she's in the hands of the prisons, the government of Ghana.
People cannot tell us where she is exactly.
You went to find out?
Not. Oh, why? You didn't hear that they said the...
Who is they?
They?
Who is they? You said they said.
Back your facts with evidence.
Who is they?
Stop doing this. Oh.
Gifty. Please stop that.
Two people fighting me this morning, actually.
Oh, who is fighting?
Because she's I'm surprised you are not
and she will be held accountable if you split something which is not right.
Who is they? You are saying they.
News.
Which channel? Give us evidence. We'll go and check. The mobile phone has made it easy for us.
Gifty, can you stop?
Gifty, another this morning, I don't know why your place is like this, but then maybe Gifty will need somebody to hold her mouth whilst I talk.
So you can do that.
Gifty,
you are here. You are close to me.
Gifty,
you can stretch your hands and hold my mouth.
I'm never going to do that.
Tabitha, please,
also,
please
don't
land.
stick to it.
Please land.
Now,
I have to go.
Let's not think, let's not pretend that per the laws of Ghana, she is supposed to be doing time as of now, but nobody actually knows where she is. Do you know where she is? You have no idea. But she is supposed to be doing time. So where is Sedina? Where is she? So if you don't know and I don't know, then you can.
So that is why you're making. That's why you're making inference.
I am inferring because that is what it is. She can never be in a hellhole right now. She is somewhere, and where is that place? The government of the day is shielding her. The government of the day is protecting their own, who is known to be a criminal per the Constitution of Ghana. Because if a court has found you guilty, you are a criminal and you should be doing time. Where is Sedina? We should be asking you that question.
All right, lady.
Now,
let me tell you. Thank you. Unfortunately, I don't have time.
Our 2% that you claim is forcing.
Lily, if you don't have time and she's talking, I can also together talk with her.
That are 2%.
But she said externally.
Did you hear that?
Okay, ladies, thank you.
No, Tabitha,
thank you, ladies.
You see,
you had enough time. I did not. You had enough time.
1.7 million votes.
Gifty. Okay. Since
question.
Gifty.
When your
microphone
government
has been muted. Please
when
mute
your
Gifty's microphone.
government is failing, this is what you will resort.
What do you mean by
Gifty, your
failing?
microphone has been muted, so nobody can hear you.
If we are saying that 70%, in fact, per the article, they said 71% of the youth of Ghana is ready to leave the
200% flew out when
Gifty,
was in power. Today we are bringing them back to the country.
You cannot interject. Gifty, I will ask you out of my studio.
Okay, your government is not doing anything to bring hope to the youth. So instead of you running your mouth this morning and trying to disrupt the whole conversation, what you should be doing is that you should be sending this message to your government that the 24-hour economy they were talking about has failed, and the youth of Ghana, they are drastically, losing faith in the government.
Okay, thank you,
There
ladies.
is credible information that when you come to urban areas, 1 out of every 2 youth is unemployed. And this is worrisome. The only thing that I took out of the article that is consoling me is that they still are not, done with democracy.
Okay.
And they are still with democracy.
Okay.
So your government should do better.
All right, thank you, ladies. That's Aila Tabita. She's a member of the NPP Communications team, and Gifty Anangbedevi is a member of the NDC Communications team. Has been quite heated, but I love it anyway. So my name is Lily Mohammed. I am back after. Stay with me. The show, this is still GH today here on GH1 TV. I am Lily Mohammed. This morning, we're talking about Africa's development and then the development gaps across the world, especially with Africa and the rest of the world. And my guest this morning is Michael Tetidoku. He is a Communications and Outreach Associate at Reform Initiative. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing very well, too. Thank you for asking. Reform Initiative, what is it about? What do you do?
So Reform Initiatives is a Pan-African non-profit registered and operating in Ghana, Sierra Leone, and the United States. Okay. And our work is mainly around elevating discourses on reparatory justice, discourses on transitional justice, human rights, and then democracy and good governance. And so we do this by collaborating with partners across the continent and from other continents like Asia, Europe, and the South. And we also do convenings where we bring people together to have conversations, to take action towards these thematic areas as I have listed.
How many years have you been in existence and successes, especially in Ghana, when it comes to reforming?
We've been in existence since for 3 years now. February was our 3rd year. Some of the successes that we've talked within these 3 years, though it is short, we organized the first reparations festival in Africa last year in Kenya. We are also one of the integral organizations in government of Ghana's ongoing efforts in declaring the transatlantic slave trade and the chattel enslavement of Africans as the gravest crime against humanity. So in that stead, putting together, working with government to draft the resolution that went around before it got to the UN General Assembly and got passed. We're also an official partner in the Next Steps conference that happened just last week. So really in Ghana, this has been some of the things we've done, but it's been mainly towards reparatory justice.
Okay. You have a conference coming up?
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me about it. Was it Repairing International Conference?
Yeah, Repairing International Development Conference.
Okay. So what is it?
It's happening from it's happening from 29 July to 29 June to 2nd July in Accra here. The idea behind the conference is we've realized that in as much as, for decades now we've been having conversation about decolonizing development, which has come at the back of the fact that development has been structured or theorized in the global north, and then solutions are brought to us to implement. They are not led by our indigenous knowledge, as we have in the global majority, being Africa, or indigenous communities across the world in like Asia or even in North America and all of that. And we realized that for us to be able to gain, of course, developments, international developments has significantly brought some progress, but it has been structured on inequality, on power relations, where we are the other side, because we are not the funders, we are not the ones with the resources. It is structured in the sense that it is brought to us to implement. We have our own ways, we have our own ways of defining development. That is not what is at the center. What is at the center is what the Eurocentric kind of development, and that is forced on indigenous communities, on local communities, in the sense that because you need the funding, because we've all learned, whether in school or in practice, that this is how development is supposed to be. You're supposed to have sky-rise building, you're supposed to have A, B, C, D. Once you don't have it, it means you are not developed. And we are challenging that narrative because that is wrong. Every community knows what development means to them. We don't have to sit back and for the global north to define what development is to us. And for centuries as well, we have been doing development in our own way. Unfortunately, it is not at the center. Our knowledge does not count as much as it should count, even amongst ourselves, because a lot of us do not know what is happening in other indigenous communities that we can also use as case studies to develop our various countries.
How will you rate development in Ghana as against the rest of Africa and the rest of the world?
Are
we far behind? Are we catching up?
I think, unfortunately, we all operate in the context of having a developed world and an underdeveloped world. in the sense that for those of us in Africa and some parts of Asia and Latin America, because we do not have certain parameters. For instance, we use certain global goals like the Sustainable Development Goals. Previously, it was the Millennium Development Goals. If you've not achieved A, B, C, D, this particular criteria that has been set out, it means you are not developed. But for me, I think it's even difficult to say we are developed, because what am I measuring it against within the country? Yeah, we have development goals, we have our Vision 2057 and all of that. But again, governments come into power, they put it aside, and every individual's aspirations and dreams for the country is what becomes development. Development has become, how many hospitals you've built, how many schools you've built, how many roads you've constructed and all of that. But development should go beyond that. Even what are we even measuring this government against? Because there is no national development plan we are all using. It is individuals' aspirations. So I really struggle to say I'm comparing us to other people.
But are we really developing, other than on paper? Tangibles, and when you look at the tangibles on ground, that's against what is on paper. Are we really developing?
As a young person, I don't think we are developing as we should. For instance, one of the things you discussed in the previous segment was young people wanting to seek greener pastures in other places. Of course, you may want to seek greener pastures in other places, regardless, even if you are developed. But there is something that is pushing young people out of the country. Things like unemployment. You are sold the dream of go to school, learn hard, get a degree. Then when you finish, you come back and settle, and there's nothing to do. And so for me, I don't think we are developing as we should. It's not like we are stagnant. Day in, day out, some progress is being made. But if you are comparing us to, for instance, Singapore that we gained independence around the same time with, really, are we developed?
The gap is truly wide. Now let's look at funding, for instance. In the last couple of years, we've seen funding gaps, and especially now we're in an era where donor partners are withdrawing funding. Is this a challenge for you as an NGO? Is this some of the critical things you will discuss at this conference?
Yes, funding is one of the main things we are discussing at the conference. We realize that because of the structural injustices that has always sort of created the relationship we have between local organizations, or maybe local organizations, indigenous communities, and funders and donors, it is development aid is seen as like a favor being done to us. And so if the funder is asking you to jump through 101 hoops to be able to get that, and they are telling you, this is what I want you to do, just because you want the money, you take that money. But we also need to understand that we are the custodians of our own development. We need to be able to own the narrative. Our knowledge needs to be at the center of, we need to be able to decide where funding goes to. And communities are already doing this. There are funders, thankfully, and incidentally as well. The conference will be happening during the first year anniversary of USAID shutting down, which is 1st July. And we are bringing funders to the conference. We are bringing indigenous communities that have started some initiatives. We are bringing locally led initiatives that need some boost as well. So there are funders that do not put these hoops in place. There are funders who are really passionate about decolonizing development, preparing development, and making sure that local communities are in charge of it. So what we will be doing is bringing funders to the conference, bringing the communities together, bringing stakeholders who are necessary for the conversation together. Once we have the conversation, we're also hoping that there will be that Pan-African and indigenous community connection where people will now get to know, because a lot of the time people do not know that there are some funders who can't fund the initiatives they are providing, because maybe they are not as big as the big philanthropic organizations, all of that. So we are bringing them together. So at least there will be some action that can be developed from the conversations that will be had.
Since you mentioned stakeholders, who is participating in this? Is this in partnership with government?
So the conference is being organized by 4 organizations. We are the lead convener. So the other organizations are African Futures Lab, there is Power Anchor Fund, there is also the Deep South Solidarity Fund as well. And the stakeholders that are coming, we have policymakers coming, we have practitioners when it comes to indigenous knowledge and community-led initiatives. We have researchers coming to the conference. We have governments coming. We have CSOs and all of that. At the country level, we have some ministerial level that has not been confirmed yet, and even from the office of the president as well. So we really are bringing diverse stakeholders from across the world, from Latin America, we are bringing people from all over Africa, we are bringing people, indigenous communities from North Africa, we are bringing people from Asia. And so it will really be a rich place where you get diverse opinions and people who are already doing something. This is not a conference where we are just coming to critique or talk about the problems. We already know what the problems are. Right. What we are about to do is the actions that need to be taken. First off, we need to all unlearn the things we've learned about development and then repair it and move forward from there and take the necessary actions to realize the development communities want from us, of not what is being imposed on us.
Does this come with a fee, or is it an open to attend program?
Yeah, so this is a strictly by invitation event.
Okay.
It's, like I mentioned, it's happening from next week, Monday.
Where?
At the Moving Pick Ambassador Hotel.
Okay.
But the conversation will be going on social media, for instance.
So it's a hybrid event.
Yes. Our socials are Repair International Development. So on LinkedIn, Repair INTL DV on Instagram and X as well. And then our conference website is ridconference.org. ridconference.org. So you can follow the conversation on those platforms, and you will be well informed about what we'll be doing.
So after this conference, then what?
So one of the main things we are doing as part of this conference is centering action. And it comes at the backdrop of, we understand that indigenous knowledge exists. It has always existed. It has even been the foundation for some models of development we have now, or some practices we have now that may seem like they are Eurocentric. But because people do not know about it, it ends up, because if your story is told, then people get to know about it. But if it's not told, and it just gets missing and it dies with generations. And so what we'll be doing is we will be producing an anthology of case studies of development initiatives that are happening from across the world. We'll also be producing a documentary that will highlight the essence of what you are trying to communicate, or what you are trying to challenge with this conference. And so there are various actions, but these are some of the two main ones that will be produced out of the conference.
Okay, all right. Anything you want to tell people out there, especially those who want to participate in this conference?
Make sure you follow the conversation on social media. You can simply, by using the hashtag RID conference, and on all platforms, you will be able to stay updated on what's been happening.
Okay, so that's Michael Tetedoku. He's a Communications and Outreach Associate at Reform Initiative. Stay with me, I'm back shortly with more. Welcome back to the show. This is still J Today here on JH1 TV. I am Lily Mohammed. It's now time for Health Alert. And this morning, we talk about hearing loss. And we talk about specifically genetic hearing loss. And my guest is Dr. Elvis Chumesi-Abuaje. He's Research Fellow, West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens, University of Ghana. Good morning, Doc. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for asking. Genetic hearing loss. For a lot of people, they'll be wondering, what is this?
So, good morning once again to your cherished listeners. So, genetics contribution to hearing loss is been well established by different research across the world. So, in Ghana here too, we've done some extensive studies in families that have individuals with this condition. So, primarily, we exclude individuals that we suspect that it's likely the condition is caused by environmental, which are also well established. Some prenatal issues, some medications, some illness. So when all those are excluded, then we try to look at what else again can account for it. So this is where the genetic makeup of an individual comes in.
Okay.
So the hearing organ, the ear, also had components that are built or that rely on proteins. So these proteins are result or they are from DNA sequence that codes these proteins and decides on their function, gives it like instruction how to function. So when there are mistakes or when there are errors in this DNA sequence, it can produce faulty proteins, or let's say proteins that will not be able to perform at its maximum capacity. Then it can compromise the hearing process, and that can result in hearing loss. So indeed, there are genetic components which account for close to 60% in individuals that are affected.
So it means it's a very common thing.
Yes, it's common.
Okay.
Hearing loss is the most common sensory human defect. So when you look at all the sensory defects, hearing loss or deafness is the most common. So the genetic component, it's also paramount, accounting for 60%, particularly when we have advanced maternal and child health care services that are taking care of the traditional, environmental, and acquired causes. So that has been minimized progressively. So it has now exposed the inherent genetic factor where parents can actually pass on a faulty protein that is that functions in the ear to a child, for the child to have the condition. So it is in two parts. It's passed on either through the recessive mode. When I say the recessive mode, it means the parent, you can have two normal parents, they are hearing. They carry a default or a faulty protein. We normally inherit two copies from both parents. So one from mother, one from child. So the parents may be hearing. This is where it's a bit confusing, because the parents can be hearing because they have maybe one copy of a faulty protein, but the other copy is functional. But when it happens that the child inherits, or they both pass on the faulty copy of the gene to the child, that is where the child will now show or manifest the condition, because the child may be carrying two faulty proteins that are supposed to help the hearing process to function normally, and that person will not be able to hear. So that is the most common form of
hearing loss,
recessive.
I know of people who have both parents who have hearing impairment, but the children they produce do not have hearing impairment.
So that's an interesting question to ask. So it is true. So it's also one of the myths when it comes to perceptions that has to do with genetics of hearing loss. So the perception is that if if I'm a parent and I don't have a hearing loss, there's no way I can give birth to a child that is having hearing loss.
Right.
So the vice versa is also there. If I have a hearing loss, or like what you are saying, both parents are deaf, then automatically the child should be no. It depends on the mode of inheritance. So if it's a dominant trait, then you only need one copy of the 40 gene to be able to show the condition, to have the defect. Okay. But if it's a recessive trait, then the child should inherit both copies. So the child can inherit one copy that is functional and inherit another copy that is 40 from both parents who are deaf. Depending on whatever is causing it, whether it's recessive or dominant, and the child can be hearing. So it's not an automatic thing. It depends on the underlying genetic cause. Is it a recessive trait or is it a dominant trait? If it's a dominant trait, then it's more likely that once you inherit just one copy, you will be deaf or you have the condition. There is higher chance of you showing the phenotype.
Okay. Yeah. Let's look at early diagnosis. Once a child is diagnosed early, is there a chance of intervention, any intervention whatsoever?
Yeah, so that's also very important and it's crucial because the child's development, when it comes to speech and language acquisition, it's critical within the first 6 months. So if it's diagnosed early, then...
So it's important that every parent will do testing.
Yes, newborn screening, early newborn screening. So what normally happens is that, this one I will talk on behalf of the clinicians. So at newborn screening, when the child is born and is tested, if the child fails, the parents are advised or the mother are advised to normally bring the child back again for further testing. That is where the problem is. If there is no follow-up, they tend up not to return for the condition to be diagnosed early for any intervention. There are interventions depending on what the underlying causes. If the child or the individual can benefit from cochlear implant, or can benefit from hearing aids, or can benefit from maybe even once what is causing is known, it can even guide the management, the prognosis, and what to expect depending on whatever is causing the condition. So it is indeed the WHO recommendation is at least within the first 6 months, any test that it's available within the country should be done to be able to diagnose whether the child has the condition or do not have, so that interventions may be recommended. So it's very crucial to identify.
But is this something that families easily access? Is it easily accessible?
So speaking for Ghana, depending on where the hospital that the child will be born, or even if they don't have the advanced equipment to test the hearing, there are orthodox ways that they actually, whether the child will cry, whether the child will make something to show that at least the child is responding to sound. So there are initial screening that will be done. But if the child fails, that is where there is a requirement that the child should be referred to a referral center where there are advanced audiological equipment to be able to confirm whether, but that can be done in Ghana. Yeah.
Is it a common thing around the country? You say it can be done in Ghana. Is there a very common thing in Ghana, various hospitals, or there are specific hospitals that a parent can easily walk into?
So that has to do with the ENT department. So once the hospital has that specific department, then it means they have an audiologist who is a qualified person to be able to assess and examine and evaluate whether the child is having the condition or is not having the condition. There are also centers, audiological centers that parents well-established centers that are not part of even the hospitals. Like when you take the schools for the deaf, for instance, they have audiological department and centers that they have qualified audiologists who can assist. If you suspect that, let's say, this child is likely, maybe I'm speaking to my child, the response is not that coming, or the child always tune up the volume of the TV very high to be able to hear. So when you suspect any disabling hearing, at least there are centers that, although they are not like widely across the country, but there are some services that individuals or families that find themselves in such situation can actually contact and also be given the necessary advice.
Okay, let's look at a policy document that your team has developed on genetic testing and hearing loss that you want to present to the government of Ghana. What are some of the key findings, the recommendations?
Yeah, so on this policy document, we've actually even already presented to the Ghana Health Service. Okay. So we are only following up to get the needed attention and for it to be discussed. Stakeholders sit down and we'll discuss for possible consideration and adoption. So we are presenting, the team at WAGBIB presented 3 key issues. So considering there is one specific mutation that is very common in among Ghanaian families that we've investigated. So it is between as high as 37 to 41% of the families that we investigated had that specific mutation, and is the most common cause of deafness, genetic etiology, hearing loss in Ghana. So we think, considering the frequency at that high, and it's a recessive trait, a carrier frequency of as high as 0.7 to 1.4. What it means is that we have individuals who have normal hearing, but are carriers of this specific mutation. So because individuals are carriers and they have normal hearing, they don't see any risks, they are not alarmed.
So what could happen to these carriers?
So that is where the policy is coming in. So we are proposing and suggesting that, considering the high frequency of this specific mutation, then when a child is born and the child fails hearing, normal newborn screening, or the clinician suspects that the child is likely to have a hearing loss, or there's even a family history, and we exclude all the environmental possible causes, then we are suggesting that it is necessary and medically relevant to test that specific child for this specific mutation to see whether that child has it. Then to test it, what do we need? We need a molecular diagnostic tool because it's a DNA mutation. So the center has also, the team at the center has also developed a rapid diagnostic test, molecular diagnostic test, to test that specific mutation, and it's very efficient and very sensitive. Then so we are proposing children should be tested if they fail or if we suspect that, because that is the most common. Almost 50% of the individuals that are affected. So it's likely, if the child is not having that, then we'll move on to the next one. Then we have also proposed the tool to do that test as part of the policy document. Then we are also proposing pre-implantation or even career screening, premarital screening. Okay. So the goal is not to eradicate hearing, because it's a whole culture when it comes to when there are some communities that the mindset is not to say we want to eradicate deafness, no. But for individuals who want to know that, do I carry this specific trait that is highly penetrant, meaning once you inherit it or once you pass it on to your child is likely, has a more chance of becoming a deaf person. Do we give these individuals the opportunity to say, I want to know, I want to screen and see? And even for families, if you know, if the mother or the father has been diagnosed of the condition, do I have a chance to check whether my child that is unborn carries this mutation that is likely going to compromise, so that at least there are genetic counseling and things that will prepare the person even emotionally before everything, so that you give the person is well informed to make medically relevant decisions that the family may decide. So these are the 3 key things we are considering. That the frequency is relatively high. It can't be ignored, because if the person doesn't know, and we have a model like this, people test for sickle cell when they are married, premarital counseling, they check to see. So once the person knows and decides what the person wants to do, then that one, it's not something, because you have to give the person the autonomy to decide what the person wants to do. You don't make decisions for the person, but it's better the population or the general population is aware that there is this silent epidemic that is actually progressively increasing, because the numbers we are seeing are increasing, and it requires the necessary attention, so that individuals are sensitized to and also well informed to make the decision, and also help even in establishing diagnosis, because at the hospital, if it's the hearing loss, it can be syndromic. The person can have the deafness and also have other conditions that are also anomalies. That is easily, like they have blue eyes, they have gray hair, they have skin patches, some even have goiter. So those ones are easily diagnosed. But the non-syndromic, that is where the genetic component is really high. The person is deaf, doesn't show any other sign of any organ dysfunction. Everything is functioning normally. So if the genetic component is added, as we are proposing or we are suggesting, then it will help the clinicians to be able to confirm and establish the diagnosis, to help in recommending any available interventions that may help the individual.
Okay, all right. Any final words to the public out there, especially for young mothers out there?
So what I would say is the genetic contribution to hearing loss or deafness is really high. It is not the fault of an individual. We don't have control of it. So if you carry it, or if it's passed on to you and you pass it on to your child, there shouldn't be any guilt or blame, because that's a major social and emotional concern that, based on the families that we have engaged and interacted with, they blame themselves because it even results in broken marriages. Somebody will say, I've checked my family, I don't have anybody that is deaf. How come I have a deaf child? Then it becomes blame game and other things. It is purely genetics.
Okay.
So when an error happens, the system is supposed to correct in our body functioning, but sometimes, because it has not been corrected and it's been passed on from generations coming, you also end up passing it to the child. So you don't blame yourself for anything, but there are available, once it's diagnosed early, there are interventions that can help for the child to be well integrated into the society, well educated, because there are schools across the country, so that it increases their chances of even employment opportunities and other things. And the last thing is that when you can also visit the West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens. Our website, we have well-resourced material that gives detailed information on all the contacts of the audiological centers we have across the country, the schools for the deaf in the country, then any available resource that we have researched and know that they can reach out to these individuals to support them if necessary. So they should check on our website for that resource material. It's really available.
Okay, how soon are you expecting a response from government on your policy document?
So we will continue to engage. From where I sit, I know the data that we have. So we know it's something that requires immediate and urgent attention for the discussion. So as soon as possible, but we'll continue to engage and see how far we can move this.
All right, Doc. Thank you very much. That's Dr. Elvis Chumesi-Abuaji. He's a research fellow, West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens, WACBIP, at the University of Ghana. Stay with me. I am back with more after this break. Mohammed, let's still talk about health. And my guest this morning is Blaise. Is it Blaise? Yeah. Blaise. That's an interesting name. Blaise Akum. He's Executive Secretary, Cancer Support Network Foundation. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Cancer Support Foundation. What have you been doing over the years? How long have you been in assistance?
Yes, so let me first of all say hi to all our viewers and all the board members and executives of Cancer Support Network Foundation. Cancer Support Network Foundation was brought to bear in 2018 by Dr. Juliet Apia-Kwanzaa, who is a medical oncologist in the United States, with the husband. She felt that no one should go through the cancer journey alone, most especially the patients and their families. Dr. Juliet believes that usually we say early detection is key, but sometimes in our part of the country, people can detect cancer cases very early, but the finances for them to initiate treatment becomes very difficult and they end up losing their life. So she came together initially with the husband to be able to support some of these cancer patients to undergo treatment for free. So since she started in 2018...
Treatment for free?
For free. Since 2018, every month at least we help about 10 patients to undergo all sorts of cancer treatment. We don't really...
Is it necessarily age inclined? Do you target a certain age bracket, or is it across the board?
It's across the board. Yes, yes. So it's across the board. So since they established this organization, felt that she needs to widen up the scope. So she formed a board of which we have Dr. Nana, we have a team of health professionals too in there. We have all sorts of professions in the organization. We have executive led by Mr. Kwesi Osewusu. So we all came together and we said that no, we can try as much as possible to put smiles in the faces of all these people who get cancer and can't afford the treatment. And sometimes we do some contributions among ourselves, but a chunk of the money comes from Dr. Juliet and the husband from the US, with also friends also donating to help care for these patients in Ghana.
So you say every month you support cancer patients.
Yeah, exactly.
This year, how many cancer patients have you supported?
So this year, from January till now, we've supported about 55 cancer patients so far. That's a lot. And every month, the applications that comes in the foundation and need support, we get about 20 to 25 patients in our emails coming for support.
So how do you sift through? What are the modalities for choosing certain patients to support?
Yes. So basically, we say that your treatment should be in a recognized treatment facility. So according to your schedule, based on your diagnosis, your stage, whatever the doctor wants to do for you, usually we'll let your doctor give us the details of the treatment regimen so that we'll know what you need and what amount it will cost. At times, some people might do chemo sections, can do about 10 to 15 cycles. Some can do about 5 cycles. How much does it cost? So when we get that amount, then we pay directly into the accounts of Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Then you initiate your treatment. Sometimes the difficulty is that some patient would like you to give the monies to them. Directly to them. At times, some people, when they hear about cancer, they feel that it's a death sentence. So when they even get the money and spend it, and then at the end of the day, know that they are losing their life. They want that part, but we believe that.
But is it a death sentence?
Cancer is not a death sentence when it's being detected early. When it's being detected early, you are able to undergo the requisite treatments that are available for you to survive. And mind you, we have cancer survivors. That's why we've designated June for Cancer Survivors Month. And it's a month that we are using to celebrate some of these people who have gone through the cancer journey and they are still thriving and they are still doing well, just to motivate them, for them to continue their journey and whatever psychological support that they also need. We don't only offer the financial part, but we also offer some kind of psychological support. We have a psychiatrist in our med, Dr. Adelaide, who also does that with the patients so that they'll feel welcome in the society. And as part of even this month, the Cancer Survivors Month, every year we have a dinner party for cancer survivors, and this month we'll be having it on Saturday for them, so that at least we'll be having the merrymaking and also some experts to also share their views on some of these pertinent issues, so that it will also guide them during their cancer journey. So there is hope where you see it early. What we've realized is that before most people come to the hospital, they usually visit certain centers before they come. So when you take about 10 people who come with cancer cases, realize that about 8 or 9 come in the advanced stage. And one way or the other, they've tried some kind of herbal concoctions, they've tried some kind of sobulu and all those kind of things. And it makes treatment very difficult. And in the hospital, doctors don't perform magic. So we usually advise that whenever you are being diagnosed, your survivorship starts from your diagnosis. Whenever you have the right frame of mind that I can go through this, you initiate your treatment, you pray to God for God to use these medications to heal you. And the reason why we are even having these survivors is at times during the diagnosis process, what most people have heard about cancer, usually they become alarmed whenever they are being diagnosed. So for the patient to be able to navigate through the hospital, usually we are able to assign some of these survivors to some of these newly diagnosed patients, so that they also guide them and also tell them they are part of their stories, that yes, I've been in the situation that you have been to. I've survived. You can also go through the same situation and you can also survive. So we have all these people who come together to also motivate newly diagnosed people so that they can undergo their treatment, whilst we give them some kind of financial and psychological support.
Okay, you have some donations tomorrow.
Yes.
Where? So
the donation is taking place at the Ridge Hospital, the Pediatric Oncology Unit.
Okay.
Yes, so we are donating some items and a cash amount worth 100,000 Ghana cedis to help these kids, those who have been diagnosed of this cancer and probably
every child in that unit.
So we've selected some, genuinely, some really need it. So others can afford, but those who genuinely need the support. So the hospital has done us that favor to select these people who genuinely needs that kind of support. So tomorrow is happening at 10 a.m. in the morning at the Ridge Hospital, and we are just doing this to put smiles in the faces of these kids and their families. And tell them that we are with them during this course and encourage them to be able to undergo these treatment schedules for free. It's cancer journey. It's not a joke. If you've been beside someone who is battling cancer, you realize that it's a different ball game together. They need support. They need people around them. And we as Cancer Support Network Foundation, we are in to render that kind of support to them. Yeah.
But why specifically the Ridge Hospital Pediatric and Oncology Unit?
Yeah, so every year we do a rotation. We have a rotational policy. So every year we target a particular. We've been doing it at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital for a while now, and this time around we thought that we can change this donation to a different hospital. Basically, at the Kolebu Teaching, we have a kind of MOU with them where usually we send our patients there, send the money through their account so that patient will go for treatment. But we felt that there are others who are in different hospitals undergoing some kind of treatment based on the cancers that they are having that will also need the support. So the board and the executive sat down and realized that, let's also extend this helping hand to the kids at the pediatric oncology at the Ridge Hospital, so that at least it will also help in their cause. And probably next year, who knows, it might end somewhere else again. Yeah.
For parents with children with cancer, or for persons who are still living with cancer, what will be your message to them, especially as June is Cancer Survivors Month?
Yes, so my message to them is there's hope. We should not let cancer break us down, and whenever we see it early, we can also treat it early. We should just speak to our healthcare providers. We should not seek to other means in order to solve our issues. But the solution is we should try as much as possible, visit the hospital. And we should also try as much as possible to also live some kind of healthy lifestyle. Usually I say that during this journey, you need to eat healthy. And because of our system, the nature of our system, most of our veggies, because of the chemicals that most people have used to contaminate these veggies, like they are good antioxidant. Tomatoes, for instance, is a very good antioxidant which contains lycopene and can help fight against cancer cells. Carrot contains beta-carotene, which is very good. Our kontomire, our cucumber, and all those kind of things, they are things that they need to also embrace and also involve some kind of exercises that can also help them during their journey. And at times we've seen cases where if it's the wife who has been hit by cancer, husband tends to neglect them. We want to, whichever ways, let's try as much as possible, stick to our partners whenever they are being diagnosed. The moment you neglect that person, the person psychologically affects the person, and if we don't take a treatment, though we'll be doing the treatment, by psychologically, it's killing the person slowly. So we should just try to embrace cancer patients in the society so that we can encourage them the most. And Cancer Support Network Foundation, we are also open for partnership and other stuff. People who are watching us and would like to partner with us for programs, events, support, and other things, they can check us out on Facebook, all the social media handles, Cancer Support Network Foundation, Cancer Support Network Foundation. And
you have some call lines that they can reach out to you, especially those who want to partner with you.
Yeah, so the call line, so you can call on 024 031 5450, 024 031 5450. And one last thing that I would like to advise our youths, now smoking has become very common, and most of the youth are not indulging in smoking. One thing about smoking is that now they've tried to modernize everything. Now there's shisha in town. The last time I even made inquiries about shisha is that not all of them have registered with the FDA, but most of them are selling. And mind you, because of the flavors, the apple, the strawberries, and the cappuccino, most of the youth tend to take it for a longer period of time. You'll be in school, talk to people, and you realize that 9-10-year-olds are taking shisha.
Engaging it, yes.
And according to WHO, when you take shisha for 1 hour, you've taken about 100 sticks of cigarette.
So you can imagine.
You can imagine the kind of carcinogenic chemicals that you are inhaling into your system, which will be very bad. So because our youth, our next generation, if we don't exhibit those kind of healthy habit, desist from some of these kind of things. In the next few years, if we don't take as a country, the number of cancer cases will just rise. So our youth should just be on guard to also check some of these things. So, yeah, so let me thank the board members of Cancer Support Network Foundation, led by Dr. Juliet Apia Kwanzaa, Dr. Nana and Dr. Adelaide, and the executives, led by the president, Mr. Akwiso Wusu, who have been leading this charge to make all these things become a success. God bless them for their kind heart that they have for this organization. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. We hope that you support more people.
Yeah.
We hope that people too will come and support you as you support cancer patients. So that's Blaise Akom. He is Executive Secretary, Cancer Support Network Foundation. They have a donation tomorrow, so keep them in your prayers as well, and please support them as they support those especially living with cancer. Let's do some celebrations now. Happy birthday to you, Elishiba Kresi Sapong. You are such an amazing Nipa. You are well loved and truly celebrated. You rise to the dizzying heights. Enjoy your special day. This is from George Ajimanbudu. He says, happy birthday to you, Shiba. Enjoy a beautiful birthday, and for me as well. We love you so much, and we hope that you enjoy your beautiful day. She's such an amazing soul, and I hope that she enjoys her birthday. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you're marking any significant milestone, congratulations to you. My name is Lily Mohammed. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and keep celebrating, keep praying for the Black Stars. Bye for now.